everyone, my name is Jess from Funky Moves and I'm going to take you through a 15-minute morning yoga flow. So it's going to be nice and relaxed, nothing too crazy. It's just with the aim to warm up your body and just send you into the day feeling peaceful and stretched. So to start with, let's come into a child's pose, my favourite pose. So you have a couple of options here. You might want to keep your toes together and open your knees out nice and wide so you can fall your body in between. Or if you're a little bit tighter on the hips, bring your knees together, inner thighs to touch, and fold your body forward. Letting your forehead relax on the mat and trying not to accidentally fall asleep again if this is indeed the first thing you've done this morning. It can be very easy. Breathing deeply. Let's breathe in through the nose and out through the mouth. And again in through the nose and out through the mouth. That's all you need to focus on right now is just the breath, absolutely nothing else. Inhale and exhale. Your next inhale, keep your body where it is. Your fingertips are going to be the only thing that's going to be touching your mat because the palms of your hands are going to curl up like spiders. From here, you're just going to walk your spiders over to one diagonal side of the mat, over to one corner. Feel that stretch along the underside of your armpit and up the side of your body. When you're ready, take your fingers to center and then over to the other side. Forehead still resting on the mat. If this is super uncomfortable for you, bring yourself a cushion underneath your forehead or in between your ankles and your bottom. Coming back up to center, bringing your hands underneath your shoulders. Slowly coming up into a tabletop position. So tabletop position, as most of you know, you're going to need to have your wrists underneath your shoulders and your knees underneath your hips. From here, let's just really slowly, and let's enjoy it, going in a nice big circle one way and circle the other. Making sure that you're just enjoying the slow pace. Let's go forward and backwards. Right now, there's absolutely nothing else you need to be doing apart from being here on the mat, breathing. And just following my instruction. That's it. After you've done a few circles and a few forwards and backs, let's come to a neutral spine with a flat back into our cat-cow. So to start off with, we do our cow, so we dip our belly to the mat, arching the back and shining the heart forward. On the inhale, exhale, let's reverse it slowly, chin to chest, looking at your navel if you can, tucking your pelvis under. Let's do that again. Inhale, dropping the belly, looking up, and exhale, chin to chest, curving through the spine. Very good, everyone. Coming to a neutral spine. Let's thread the needle. So take one arm up, looking up at the top hand, and then threading it through in between the other knee and wrist and bring your ear down onto the mat here. Now your hips should be above your knees. Hopefully mine are, I can't see. And then if this doesn't feel like it's doing anything, you can take the top arm, internally rotate it, and just slip it onto the inside of the opposite thigh. Or you can just stay with your hand down on the mat. It's totally up to you. And close your eyes here. It gives you a good chance to check in with your body and see which muscles are feeling the strain, which muscles need loosening. And send your breath to those places. Release the bind if you have it. Put your hand down on the mat. Roll over to the front of your forehead as opposed to the back of your forehead. It's obviously early in the morning. And let's go to the other side. So inhale, look up at the top hand, and exhale, take it through, palm up to the sky. Breathing deeply. Take the top hand up if you want to, internally rotate it and take it onto the inside. Looking up or just keeping your gaze over to one side. Breathing here. It's really nice passive twist. Releasing the bind, hand flat on the mat, forehead to touch the mat and all the way up. Let's go into a side plank. Now don't let the word plank scare you. It's a modified one, so knees down to the ground. You're going to take the same arm as leg and it's going to straighten out. Sweeping it all the way up. Looking up at that top hand, making sure that you're not flaring the ribs and sticking out your bum, even though that does feel lovely. So tucking in, zipping everything up, engaging your abs. Looking down at the bottom hand if that's hurting your neck. And then release down, nice and slowly. The slower you go, the more controlled you are, the more the muscles are being engaged. Looking up at the top hand, peaceful control. It's lovely. Looking down at the bottom hand if you want to. And then lowering that hand. Let's just do one more cat-cow. So dropping the belly, breathing in. Let's inhale all that positivity that's going to set you up for the day, and let's exhale out all the negativity. Definitely don't want that. Lovely. From here, tuck your toes. I'm going to very slowly spreading the fingers wide, coming up into your downward facing dog. Bending the knees as much as you need to, lifting the heels off the mat. You can walk out your dog here, so taking your weight onto the ball of each foot. You can even look under the armpit. See what's going on under there. Breathing deeply. When you've had a few breaths there, looking to the top of the mat, walking towards your hands. Taking your feet wide so they're hip distance apart. And bending the knees as much as you need to have your chest rested on your thighs. And don't be hanging out here and thinking this is all you can go. Bend your knees as much as you need to. Honestly, there's no rules here. As long as there's contact between your thighs and your chest. Holding on to either elbow to give yourself a bit more weight in that torso, feeling gravity doing its job. And releasing your arms, slowly rolling up through the spine. Coming up to standing. Shoulders rolling back and down. Bring your toes together, heels slightly apart. And let's just roll our head from one side to the other. Feeling the tension starting to release. Rolling your shoulders forward and back and down the body, and again forward. Back and down the body. Let's go through one vinyasa. So nice and smooth. Inhale up. Looking up at the hands. Exhale, hinging from the hips. Folding forward with control. Coming up into the fingertips of the mat or your hands on your shins into your halfway lift. Just really sticking out the bum there. Exhale, fold. Bend the knees as much as you need to. Oh, lovely cracks. Take one leg back into plank. Take the other leg back into plank. Lower your knees down, untuck your toes if you want to. Or if you're feeling a bit fancy, you can lower all the way down with control. Untucking the toes. Let's come up into a baby cobra. Inhale, looking forward. And exhale, forehead to the mat. Tuck your toes under. Send your hips back through a very quick child's pose. I mean, it wasn't quick, but. And then sending your hips back and up into downward facing dog. Now when you're here, let's bring our toes and our heels to touch. Coming up onto the toes, you're going to bend your knees and look under the armpit that way. Come back to center. Keeping your legs glued together, bend the knees and look under the other side. If that's absolute hell on your arms, just come down to child's pose. Taking it easy on this lovely morning. And taking it over to the other side. Good, coming back to center. To your downward facing dog, looking forward. Taking a few steps to the top of your mat and slowly rolling through the spine. With control, chin to chest. Chin is the last thing to come up. And rolling the spine. I'm just going to face you for this bit. So bringing your hands up, so your toes to touch, heels slightly apart, arms up. Interlace the fingers. Release the index finger, so it's a pistol grip. Charlie's Angel style. And just move your spine from side to side, just warming it up. Feels really nice. It's also really engaging your oblique muscles, your abdominals, making sure you're pulling up through the front of your legs and through your glutes. Finding a center position. Inhale up to lengthen the spine, and exhale, a bit of a wall. Take it over to one side. Breathing here, inhale all together and exhale, go further, further, further. Good, coming back up. Inhale to lengthen, exhale over to the other side. Breathing deeply and coming all the way up. Lovely, and let's bend our knees and just fold forwards. Breathing deeply as we go, lovely. From here, let's put our hands flat and just take one leg back and then the other leg into a downward facing dog. Just briefly coming back to our tabletop. Let's take the right leg in between the hands, coming up into our low lunge. Breathing here, and a bit like we did in the side plank, that same openness. If your right leg's forward, you're going to take your right arm up and just do a nice twist here. Breathing deeply. Making sure that your knee is over your ankle, your hands, your fingertips are wide, looking up, and then circle it down. Good. Then let's take it all the way back into runner stretch. So taking your hips onto the inside of your heel, so your heel's slightly out to the side, flexing that front foot. Have your fingertips on the mat. We're going to inhale to lengthen. You might need a cushion underneath your seat bones here. Exhale, just fold forward. And bring your hands either side of your shin and just creep your hands forward. Breathing here. As long as you're not curving in the spine, it doesn't matter where you are this morning. We're going to breathe in, and as we breathe out, let it take us further, further, further. Good, let's come up, taking our weight forward, onto that right leg, join the right leg to join the left, and then take the left leg forwards. A lot of rights and lefts there, I hope I haven't confused you. Okay, we've got the left leg forward now, the right hand is going to ground down, and we're going to open out through that top hand, breathe in. Again, just if it's straining your neck, just change it. Everybody is anatomically different. And this pose could look different from one person to the next. Just make sure it works for you. Good, sweeping that arm down, whoops, and then taking your body weight back and your hips on the inside. If you've got bad knees, just straighten your legs out in front of you and go into a forward fold. Holding it here, making sure that your left leg is flexed, fingertips on the mat. Inhale and exhale, fold forward. Bring your hands down either side. And just taking a second to not judge yourself. Sure, I'm not anywhere near on this side that I was on the other, but different sides are different. That's why they're different. So don't worry about it, no judgment. Inhale and exhale, take yourself down. Always much more stiffer in the morning, much more loosey-goosey in the evening. It's not a bad thing to stretch in the morning, it's actually really beneficial, gets the blood flowing. Coming up, and we're going to slowly just take a very, very brief Shavasana. We don't want anyone to fall asleep again, so curling down, palms up to the sky, and just breathing. Breaths. Just to end our practice. Let all of those beautiful postures that we did just sink in. and do their job. Okay, let's wiggle our fingers and our toes. I wish we could stay there for longer. Bring your knees up into your chest and rolling over to your right hand side if you can. Coming all the way up to a seated position. Crossing your legs. Bring your hands to heart center. And saying with me, Namaste. Namaste, everyone. Lovely morning practice. I hope you have a fantastic day and you feel a bit more relaxed and also energized, and join us again. Please come back and watch more videos and subscribe, and hopefully I'll practice with you again soon. Thank you so much.